pretty damn impressive.
It's
Large, diverse casts like this are a defining feature of many big shonen battle anime these days.
Okay.
A lesson likely learned from the successes of juggernauts like Naruto and One Piece.
Yeah. Before juggernauts like Naruto and One Piece, nothing had characters. It was just a bunch of avatars just doing nothing. But then people went, "Oh crap, Naruto has characters? Maybe I should put characters in my as well." Are you seriously saying this?
Genres appeal. Kids, the target audience for these stories, also have a wide range of often vibrant personalities, so having a lot of different characters increases the odds that viewers and readers alike will find someone in the cast with whom they can identify. And My Hero Academia is pretty good at making likable characters and giving them chances to shine. Be it by taking central roles in the story, or failing that by doing cool things to support the central players. That's not to say that the way...
So by doing stuff, or doing stuff.
Hey, they're likable and cool now. Because you did something.
Not because of who you are, but what you do. What was Kaminari's big moment in the villains? They're coming in and they're fighting everybody. He just shocked them. What was Momo's moment? She made a shield and she made a cannon. Wow, these are cool stuff. Oh, look, I got nothing for Tentacle Dude, but let me just show him carrying Deku.
Mina was cowering behind the hero. Cowering.
Series handles its characters is entirely flawless. Hiroaka...
Oh, isn't.
Oh boy, I was about to quit.
The way the series handles its characters is entirely flawless. Hiroaka has some of the strongest female character designs in the business, for instance, and I think...
Female character designs?
Some of the strongest? Momo is fairly nothing. Oraka is fairly nothing. Jiro is fairly nothing.
She just got long ears. Invisible Girl, you don't even know what it is. You got Frappy and you got Momo. I mean, not Momo, Mina. What are you talking about, dude?
What are you talking about?
Midnight?
Business, for instance, and I think the personalities that Horikoshi has attached to those designs are really interesting and appealing, but when it comes to actually, like, using those characters to do things in the story, I think it's fair to...
Why are you just complaining about the female characters doing nothing? There's 6 females and 14 dudes. There's a larger breadth of dudes doing nothing than women. But why you target the women doing nothing? Equality. Nobody's doing anything. How about that?
Why is less than half of the people doing nothing?
Horikoshi sucks at writing women. No, Horikoshi sucks at writing characters. Now, there is something to be said that of the big 3, only the girl has no kind of backstory. Mirio and Sun Eater both have.
Of the big 3.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But theirs are sort of integrated within each other.
Yeah.
That is something definitely to be said. Like, what the are you doing? She even had a moment to fight in there, and she was just there. She could have been replaced with anybody with the fight against Shigaraki. So yeah, don't hit me with this. The women don't do anything. The men don't do anything.
You got roughly any arc you can depend on one of 5 people doing something.
Seriously.
And everything else is a crapshoot. Complete crapshoot.
I think it's fair to say that he's come up a bit short. Sure, the girls do get to beat up villains and do other stuff, but usually as part of the B-plot of a story that focuses...
Pause! But you just praised people for doing stuff! But now it's a detriment that they do stuff as a B-plot?
As opposed to the main central thing.
You just showed Tentacle Dude just protecting Deku! She's actively taking down Mother and Himiko Toga! And you're like, yeah, it's on the B-plot!
So it doesn't matter as much.
When Tape do what?
Zero.
At least she's doing something.
At least I remembered her.
Crappie got this moment with Himiko. She got the moment with Deku and Minata. Momo's got mad development. Jiro had her own little arc. Mina's like the sunshine of the class. She's always happy and moving and everything.
And she got development from the past of Kirishima and the whole thing with trying to take down the big villain.
And Invisible Girl.
And Invisible Girl is doing literally nothing.
Literally nothing. Get her out of here.
The girls do more than a large portion of the boys.
But Tape do. Literally what? Animal do. Sugar Rush.
Ojiro.
Mineta is a single joke.
Ayama. That's 6 people we named. That's okay. What did they do more than 5 of the girls? Combined, they haven't done as much as somebody like Uraraka. What are you talking about?
Ridiculous. It's one of those. Oh, I have to mention that the women, everybody. If this is something like One Piece where Robin has not gotten a one-on-one fight since Skypiea, that's something.
But there's still a lot of women doing shit.
Yeah, there's still a lot of women doing stuff. Robin is still doing stuff outside of fights.
She's still fighting because she had her Chopper fight with Chopper in Thriller Bark. She just hasn't had a one-on-one or a big, this is my fight.
This is ridiculous.
It's part of the B plot of a story that focuses on one of their male classmates. This also means that the show hasn't had all that much time for direct romantic interactions between Deku and his ostensible love interest, Ochiko. A lot of their
They've gotten so much development. And the reason it's not getting developed further is Uraraka went, I gotta push these feelings down because right now it's not what's important.
It's not what's rocking here.
She doesn't want to bog down Deku or herself with her feelings. So I'm gonna push that way down and keep fighting to be a hero alongside everybody.
But there's little stuff like her holding on to the little trinket that Deku gave her.
There's so many. There was so much development before she shut that down.
It's not a romance series, but if they were to get together, it'd be entirely plausible.
And Ojiro and Invisible Girl, they had like 1 or 2 interactions, and people are like, "My God, that's a ship."
Momo and Todoroki.
My God, what a ship! No, this is the one everybody should be pointing to because this is so clearly defined. And who gives a if there's not a lot of romance in it? How much romance was in Naruto? Naruto liked Sakura, so sometimes he said something. Sakura liked Sasuke, so sometimes she said something. Rock Lee liked Sakura, so sometimes he said something. But for the large portion of it, it did not come into play.
This is ridiculous.
Bleach? What was the romance there? Everybody just hooked up at the end, basically.
Oh my goodness. And Demon Slayer.
Hey, that's my great-great-granddaddy.
Ugh.
Oh, really? What happened there?
Something happened.
A lot of their love story to this point has been defined by timid flirting and longing glances from afar, along with occasional collaborations on big school projects.
Pause. They're children. They both like and respect each other. They find each other admirable or cute or whatever. And neither of them are in a position, nor do they have the confidence to say such a thing. So of course this is what it's going to be. And it's fine that this is all that this is. Because this is, number one, not a romance. There's no time for it. Horikoshi's not a very good writer. But yeah, this is not a point.
This is not a detriment to the series.
Not at all.
This gets a lot more than a lot of other things.
Absolutely.
Because outside of stuff like Juvia and Gray, I wouldn't even say that. I would say outside of stuff like Jalal and Urza, what all do you get? Not a lot.
Levi and Gajio.
All right, yeah. Good point.
But something like Yu Yu Hakusho, nope, nothing.
Yusuke and Keiko, really. And I guess Kurama, I mean not Kurama, but Kuwabara, but that's just like an unrequited thing.
Kurama?
Yeah.
Kurama, yeah, you rocking that?
Hey, a lot of people are, bro.
Of course they are.
Yeah, I don't... I don't see it as a problem
Yeah.
that there's some romance but not enough romance.
Which is how a lot of high school romances go. It's just not all that interesting to watch. And
I was very interested.
Yeah.
I love their
'Cause-
little scene.
Because
interaction.
it's character stuff.
Hey, you know what? One of the biggest laughs I got when she goes, I have to go buy bug spray and runs away from him. And he goes, am I the bug? Love that scene.
give me much reason to root for them as a couple.
You like Deku. You like Uraraka.
They like
both
each other.
like each other.
They're good together. What more do you want? You want them to be done with all this bullshit so that they could get together. What's wrong with that?
On thinking they look kind of cute together. And like, if I'm being honest, he kind of looks cuter next to Froppy, what with the matching colors and all.
Oh my god.
So that's all that matters?
Froppy feels very I don't give a about dudes.
Very asexual.
Yeah, cause
She's too aloof to be in a relationship with anybody. We don't really know how she feels in really any situation. She's shown no interest in really anything. So all you're going by is this singular moment and the fact that they both have green in their outfit. What a
hair.
shallow piece of Instead of this pretty developed relationship between these two characters that clearly like each other, you go, nah, but green. Honestly?
now, is this a worship than Piccolo and Bulma?
No, absolutely not. Because they're talking to each other. You give me 3 conversations with Piccolo and Bulma. Somebody just needed that to get through the day. They're like, this is my exact fetish, and somehow I'm gonna make this work.
Next to Froppy, what with the matching colors and all. This is supposed to be an action series first and foremost, so it is probably sensible to keep romance at the periphery, but even in that light, the romance in Hiroaka comes off as a bit shallow. And that's a shame.
Pause.
Kids are shallow and romantically. My God, they suck.
And you literally just went, they match green, so they good. Is that not shallow? You complaining about shallow stuff when you just as shallow? This is ridiculous.
Because in a few scenes, like Ochiko's tearful phone call with her mom and dad during the sports festival, Horikoshi demonstrates that he can make us feel things, powerful things for these characters. On that note,
Is that a woman doing something? Is that a woman having an emotion after a big fight against an opponent she clearly could not win against when she had a motivation to win?
To the point where the dude was just like, he only knew her as Gravity Girl, but during the fight he respected her enough to call her by her name.
Is this something that happened? As opposed to Tape Dude, Ojiro, Sugar Rush, Animal Dude, Ayama? Is this something emotional happening? Oh.
the bromance, on the other hand, is very strong with this one. I can point to Deku's relationships with any of his friends or mentors, but there's also Bakugo and Kirishima, Eraserhead, and Present Mic. This series is kind of held together by strong bonds of male friendship and camaraderie, and those
Pause.
Held together. Okay. What did they talk about
I
here?
was you.
Because we got...
Because these are 3 people together, and he actively uses this to prove his point.
Bruh,
This is terrible.
I couldn't tell you 13 words Sero has ever said. I don't even know if he's ever explained his power to anybody. So to say he has a bromance with literally anybody...
I can't confidently think he said the word the.
I can't think he said the word the 13 times. Like, I've got nothing for Sero, dude. He probably said my name is Sero whatever.
I can't even say confidently that he said the word tape.
Okay. Who did he team with at the sports festival?
Oh shit.
Was
Who
it
was-
Mineta and Tentacle Dude?
Who was his one-on? He teamed up with
I
somebody.
don't think he
and
made it
fought
to the
a-
next round. That's why.
No, I'm talking about he teamed up with somebody and fought against a teacher.
Oh yeah, and it's in the intro. Was it Mina? Was it Mina against the principal and him? Was that or was
Was
that
it?
Tentacle? Wait. I'm just gonna look at the My Hero opening.
You just-
Oh no. Yeah.
I'm gonna struck again.
Mineta.
What's that way?
Midnight.
Okay.
He got taken down and he was the person that got carried. They don't even show who Ojiro teamed with. He's by himself.
Ojiro was with Ida. Kirishima was with Sugar Rush. And
I know Ayama was at Uraraka because that's when she figured out she liked Deku.
Invisible with Tentacle.
They lost.
And the biggest who's who.
They lost.
It was Mina with Kaminari
Okay.
versus the principal.
Okay. I got some of that work. I was 2 for 3.
Tons of male friendship and camaraderie, and those relationship dynamics tend to be really fun.
Hey, what series doesn't do this? Bleach, Naruto, One Piece, Demon Slayer. What are we talking about? Jujutsu Kaisen. I love the kids together. It's the only thing I like about the series. Some of the fights are cool.
Also an atmosphere of supportive sisterhood among the girls in Class 1.
Jesus
Then
Christ!
why
They've
did
had
you-
2 conversations together.
I am wondering why did he single out the bromance and then just go, oh, there's also sisterhood. Why would you just not go everybody's friends with everybody and move on? Or are you trying to make this more grandiose than it is?
1A, and their
The boys are friends and the girls are friends. Hey, that's what's good about My Hero.
among the girls in Class 1A, and their interactions with each other are plenty cute, which I suspect is the point. Now, good hero.
One interaction there.
Oh, he had 2 sentences about that. This dude is a captain bum.
Now, good heroes are nothing without good villains.
Yes, they are. I don't care if every villain is in One Piece. Luffy is still a good character.
Genta was a great character outside of any sort of hero or villain thing. He had a great
He could have fought
personality.
Sugar Rush for all I gave it.
Mirako had no real villain opposition against her. It was just a bunch of Nomu. It was just strong, and she was still amazing. All Might went up against a Nomu, a personality-less Nomu. A Gran Torino went up against a Nomu, a personality-less Nomu, and that was one of his 2 fights. He's still a great hero. He's still a great. He's still got a great personality. That was still a great fight.
Are nothing without good villains to fight, and on that front, Hiroaka does not disappoint. Its
There were a lot of disappointing heroes there, sir.
gallery is
villains.
varied, inventive, and menacing, as all
Varied,
Inventive.
inventive, and menacing. Okay, let's take off the inventive because that could apply to so many things, but you would have to quantify it. We're talking menacing villains.
And there's a lot of them.
Villains.
And they're varied. So that means that their number is big.
Their number is big and they are way different.
Yep.
And they mean, my God, mean.
Yeah. So that's worthy of praise. As opposed to that singular nice villain who only wants to cut down that singular tree in the park. Boo! Oh, this isn't varied. This isn't menacing.
Throw tomatoes at him. Boo!
Inventive and menacing as all hell, particularly the core members of the League of Villains. But from Stain to Overhaul and beyond,
Overhaul sucked.
Overhaul is pretty bad.
and every villain outside of that group leaves a distinct impression all their own through their fighting styles, their designs, their ideologies, and the impact they have on our heroes and the world around them. The series is
What changed in Deku after beating 2 to 3 of these people? What did he change after beating Muscle?
What changed after beating Muscle? He just went, I gotta put everything into my abilities. No, not just everything. Everything. And he did, and then and Muscle was just like, oh no. I guess that was enough. And he just lost. And that was it.
very good at tying its villains into both the ongoing exploration of its core themes and the development of its heroes. So pretty much every battle, be it big or small, against the supervillain Yakuza or a YouTuber who's too big for his britches, every battle feels like it matters. And you kind of need that in any...
Has there ever been a series where a battle felt like it didn't matter? Outside of little bum fights. Because, when they're fighting the dude that's just like, I'm gonna pull out a gun on y'all in this arc, I don't think that's a big battle. It's just a little bum fight. I don't think it mattered.
He's just saying this evergreen stuff that can apply to almost any shonen, and fights feel important. Okay, great. Show me a fight that doesn't feel important. Show me a series with a lot of fights that don't feel important. Because you can just pick out
I'll
this
take
one
you at
little...
5.
Yeah.
And I don't mean little bum fights. I mean any substantive fight that has no meaning. Give me 5.
Because it's just nothing that he's saying, and I hate this.
great shonen battle series. That said, My Hero Academia isn't just a great shonen battle series, it's also a great adaptation of a great shonen battle series. One of the best such adaptations of all time, I'd argue, and I believe its enduring popularity has just as much to do with the way that Bones and director Kenji Nagasaki chose to adapt the manga as it does with the quality of that manga itself. See, prior...
How many times why couldn't he put that in the other part? He talks about he talked about how pretty it was. He talked about how they move, and now he's talking about how it's adapted. Come on! This was 3 separate segments. You could have just been all one adaptation / animation thing.
No.
Man!
Oh, he's not happy. There's
I'm
no
so
joke.
sick of this. This is
He's
because
so
it's
unhappy.
so unimportant.
He's so unhappy.
It's just, oh my goodness, they adapted it well. Who cares? Show me something that's not adapted well.
Kenichi.
Oh yeah, that was pretty poor. I had to edit that. I was just like, ooh no, oh stinky.
Kenichi. There are going to be things where poorly.
But the majority of stuff is adapted quite well.
If not quite well, good enough.
Yes, and this is not worthy of praise, I'd say, or at least not a third segment in a video.
The quality of that manga itself. See, prior to this last decade, pretty much every major Shonen Jump manga got the same treatment when it came time to make it into an anime. Instead of being made for a conventional 13 or 26 episode season order,
he's just
big
going
properties
to
like
season
Naruto, Dragon Ball, Bleach, and One Piece were produced in perpetuity, essentially, with new episodes airing every week for years on end. Which is great if your goal is to fill weekly broadcast slots and keep a brand in the public consciousness, but less than great if your goal is to make the best anime you possibly can out of your source material on a consistent...
Hey, One Punch Man got this treatment. What happened in season 2?
I wonder what happened in season 2.
Oh no, the animation went down anyway and everybody hated it?
And people started going, oh no, this is bad.
What
because
happened?
the animation isn't up to the level of the first season.
I guess that did happen. Hey, My Hero looks kind of trash sometimes. But, I have no idea why that is. Could it just be that sometimes things look a little trash?
Basis. Anime episodes typically cover more plot in a week than a short manga chapter does, so it wasn't uncommon for these shows to catch up to the comics they were based on, which led to drops in production quality as big fights had to be stretched out and animated on tight deadlines.
Hey, the My Hero anime is really close to the manga, even with all these breaks.
Yes, it is.
Because they're going to get through My Villain this season. And that leaves them with, I think, 3 arcs left. And this series is almost over.
I would have liked some filler just to flesh out some characters or some. We got that one little Froppy episode, and that was a good episode. Got some Froppy stuff in there.
But it's so hard to say, hey, let's do something with Snipe when we don't know what his power is, and Hirokoshi might use him later, and it'll go against what we wanted. Now, Hirokoshi's never going to go back and show that Froppy crap, so let's animate it ourselves. And hey, My Hero still has filler. It still stretches out fights sometimes.
And storylines had to be padded out with flashbacks and filler to rebuild the chapter buffer. Around the middle of the last decade, likely inspired by the earlier successes of Sword Art Online and Attack on Titan, a lot of bigger shonen manga adaptations began bucking this trend. Tokyo Ghoul, Food Wars...
Pause. So, My Hero is just doing what these things that you're naming has already done. And you're just saying they are doing these things that this other thing has done. And it is also pretty as a result.
Hey, I think he's been doing this the entire video, so I don't know why you're mad now. He sucks.
Haikyuu, Maji, JoJo, Bungo Stray Dogs, Noragami, Assassination Classroom, and, of course, My Hero.
Hasn't JoJo been doing this since, like, 2004?
Then most certainly. Not 4. I think it started up in 11.
Was it? Oh, yeah, you were already in 2021. That's my fault.
Academia all arrived in shorter, more consumable seasonal packages with additional seasons already in production as the first ones wrapped, ready to keep that hype train going. The advantages that this approach gave the show were obvious from the get-go. Every fight in Hero Aka, no matter how small, impresses with its animation and
Hey, that looked pretty stilted right there, sir.
the show were obvious from the get-go. Every fight in Hero Aka, no matter how small, impresses with its animation and direction in some way.
Hey, pretty. This is all he needs to say. We
Every
got it.
fight impresses, sir. Every
Totality is a problem.
Every fight.
Absolutes is a problem.
Okay, sir. So Sun Eater versus that dude in the Overhaul arc was animated well and everything. That fight sucked, and it was stretched out unbelievably.
Doesn't have to cheap out on dialogue scenes to make that happen. And the seasonal format gives it another huge advantage that I think makes for an even more compelling pitch to your average shonen anime fan. This is a show with all the potential hype and action of Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, and Dragon Ball before it, but none of the filler.
There is still filler, and it is still stretched out. And hey, anytime you want, you can skip that filler in those past things.
Absolutely.
It's up to you.
Strictly true. There is some anime original
why'd
content
you say
in
it?
My Hero Academia.
Then why did you say it? You said a thing and then went, nah.
Content in My Hero Academia, but the difference is that most of it's actually good.
Oh, that's
okay.
inexcusable.
All right.
That is
Okay.
good.
That's the difference. There's no filler. Actually, it is, but it's good though.
So if the past filler would have been good, would it still have been a problem?
And a lot of it actively makes the show better. Where the manga often focuses squarely on what Deku and his rivals are up to, the anime often takes additional time to show what their classmates are doing at the same time, fleshing those characters out and making them feel more like heroes in their own right.
These were actually in the manga. They just did more with them. They stretched out the scenes, which you just said didn't need to happen for big fights and stuff.
And if Horikoshi is not doing that, that's a problem because she's only focusing on the main people and brushing over the side people. That's not good.
As female characters especially benefit from these additions. Froppy
Okay.
got half an episode to herself, and the girls get as many hero moments as the boys do in the movie. None of these are massive.
I
Paul,
don't give a about the movie. And guess what? In the second movie, everybody got a moment except a single girl. Invisible Girl got 0.
in the movie, they did exactly what they should have done. They went, look, we got nothing for these certain people. Tokoyami, he's out of here. A bunch of people were just like, they ain't here.
Here.
They ain't here, and everybody that is here is gonna do something. That's exactly what you need to do.
It's an arc that has nothing to do with you, so you simply don't exist
It's
right
just
now.
like, oh look, they are sitting at home, and I went good. As opposed to doing nothing, you don't even have a chance to do nothing. So now there's no reason why everybody can't do something because it's a smaller cast.
It's way worse when you're there and doing nothing than when you're not there. Because when
Absolutely.
you're not there, there's literally nothing you can do. But while you are there are so many things you could do. But you just don't.
Not like Hiroaka would be bad without them, but by and large, I think they do improve.
I hate All Might with eyes.
Yeah, don't show All Might with a face and without the shadow. He stinks.
And those improvements were only possible because the nature of this adaptation allows Studio Bones to look at entire chapters as complete stories and pace them accordingly. Working from mostly finished manga arcs instead of ongoing stories published on a schedule that basically demands they be partly made up as they go along allows Yosuke Kuroda, the show's writer, to pick out a satisfying endpoint for each season in advance and then work backwards to fit the preceding manga chapters into equally satisfying, hopefully self-contained episodes, often focusing on specific characters and conflicts. With
job
that
for
done,
the
he's
movies,
then able to figure out which episodes need a bit more footage and where the season might benefit from a lighter, self-contained episodic break from ongoing storylines, as well as what elements the stories that are being told that season are missing so that those elements can be injected into the filler content.
Missing. So that means that Horikoshi didn't do something and it's lacking because of it and it's improved in the anime. Do you think that's good on Horikoshi's part? I personally do not.
You're wrong.
Means that My Hero Academia's story feels tighter, better paced, and more focused than most of the big shonen anime that preceded it. If you're marathoning it the way that it ramps into major battles with slice of life stuff at the start of each season, can feel a bit slow, but once it gets into things, it's hard to put down. And not only has
I put it down heavy, sir. It's getting to the point where I'm going to stop reading it weekly. It's not very good.
I am constantly reading it weekly because I enjoy being angry at it.
been able to keep that pace and quality up for over 70 episodes now, on top of movies and OVA.
The overhaul arc sucked.
I have no opinion on that. I
One
do
of
not
these
remember it
days-
super well.
One of these days, people are going to go back and they're going to reevaluate the arcs that I
Absolutely.
say are not very good right now, and they're going to go, wow, those were not
I
very
thought
good.
you were just gonna go with people are just gonna reevaluate stuff, everything, things.
No, I can't say that because we're living in a society, where we're in 2021 and people are still going, Dragon Ball was great.
You right?
No, it
You're
simply
right.
wasn't, sir.
No, you right. You right.
There's people defending the nonsense of Bleach that refuse to finish our debate.
Oh, who's defending the nonsense? I don't think those people exist, sir.
I don't even know what their name is. I think the Discord is Soul Society or some. I don't care. Debate. Get it
is
done.
There still nothing? Still no response?
Let me. I'll do this live right here.
Cause surely we are free whenever.
Are we finishing the debate this week?
All right.
Cause my God, I'm tired of it. I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna put it up. Nah, don't put it up, cause I'm gonna
Keep my balls.
What you mean, eat your balls? Is this not what you say? Are you not the person I'm talking about right now in a mocking tone?
Yes.
Okay then.
But
eat my balls.
I am very schizophrenic in that aspect. I do not agree with past me.
So you changed your mind?
Absolutely.
What happened? Is it the aspect I was talking about?
Whatever the case may be, it needs to finish. That's my biggest thing. And if putting it up will get them to be like, hey, yo, maybe we need to finish this. Maybe that's what it's got to be.
It's improved season over season. Okay, some
No.
people might argue that's not true for season 4, but I think that mostly comes down to the overhaul arc being the slowest part of the manga, especially before its climax. The anime is doing the best it can with that material, as it always has.
So the material itself is not very good.
Yes.
So it hasn't improved season over season. Am I correct? Okay then.
Because the break between seasons gives its staff time to see what is and isn't working and tweak things, its best has gotten
What's
better.
tweak?
The most noticeable
No,
jump in
what,
quality.
pause. You said stuff that is and isn't working. What is and isn't working? I assume the isn't working is the stuff that Horikoshi isn't showing off these other people, so you just show them. Is that what you're talking about? Because you just moved on.
Noticeable jump in quality came between seasons 1 and 2, and in part,
Pretty!
I think that's because the manga itself improved a lot, starting with the sports festival, but at the same time, the anime increased its rate of chapters adapted per episode from 1.6 to 2, which made it feel a lot zippier, and the show's visuals have just kept getting slicker.
Oh
and
my
slicker
goodness.
as animators have gotten more and more practiced at drawing these characters, and its American comic-inspired aesthetics have been more refined. There are definitely benefits to weekly production. It tends to provide more stable employment for animators if it's managed well, which is really damn important, and it can be great for looser, less plot-driven anime like Pokemon Sun and Moon. But when it comes to making serious manga adaptations, Hiroaka and Attack on Titan's approach just makes for a better product. And I think the series owes no small part of its success to that factor alone. Clearly, a lot of
Wait, hold on. What did you say about success?
I wasn't listening.
better product. And I think the series owes no small part of its success to that factor alone. Clearly, a lot of anime producers do too, as Black Clover is the only big new shonen manga adaptation that hasn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. You said pause. I was frozen.
So are you telling me that the reason that My Hero owes a level of its popularity is because of the anime?
He said in no small part, so that could just mean like 20% of it. It's a sizable part, but it's not.
The manga should be able to stand on its own. You've gone on for so long about the production of the anime, and you've gone for so short on the actual story and the characters and stuff like that. Just going, no, they good though, and you're talking all this production garbage.
So the guy says his school schedule is what's holding him up.
Yeah, sure it is.
And to the point where he's had to figure out what he's doing carefully.
Black Clover is the only big new shonen manga adaptation that hasn't followed their lead. There's no one thing
Follow My Hero's lead?
The
Or-
lead of the
adaptation that
okay.
hasn't followed their lead. There's no one thing that's made Hiroaka the success it is today. There rarely is when franchises get this huge.
pause. Demon Slayer is carried by its animation.
Absolutely. Carried.
Don't tell me otherwise. The dub is aight.
Do you know how many times people go, hey, it gets good with episode 19? Do you know how many times people say, hey, watch the movie? It's just pretty.
It is carried out this world. And I will hear nothing to the sort. I wish a mother would.
It's a bunch of, at best, 6.5 characters doing 6.5 plots with 10 production values. And people go, my God, the production value. And hey, I laugh as a Netsu, so it's good too.
inherently appealing premise that it executes on exceptionally well, with likable characters, interesting underlying themes, a cool setting, and remarkably strong fights. And that can...
Pause. Everything he said can apply to One Piece. We could have just showed One Piece footage and it'd be the exact same thing. Because you didn't really show anything that matches what you said. You just showed somebody punching.
Taken anime a long way. But it also got very lucky. It came out at just the right time.
Hey, things tend, when they get popular, it's tend to do with luck.
Absolutely.
I don't... Yeah, it's usually with luck.
Same thing when things aren't very popular. Invader Zim would smash records if it came out right now. But it fizzled because it was just the wrong time.
At the same time, you know what? I think Pepper Ann would be exceptional in this day and age.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I love Pepper Ann. At the same time, I don't think Harry Potter would be very interesting if it came out today.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I think there's just too much media and it would be kind of basic.
Yeah.
Lucky. It came out at just the right time to capitalize on the superhero movie boom and...
What are you talking about?
He said what he's talking about.
This shit came out, what, like 5 years ago? 2016? Superhero boom? That's like in 2000, what, 11 was the first Iron Man movie?
Something like that.
Avengers 2014? Whatever.
the streaming anime boom, and it was picked up for adaptation right when the industry began taking a new, more consistent approach to long-form adaptations. This show...
Hey, look how regular this is animated.
Adaptations. This show helped to cement a business model that is going to define how new anime are made for years to come. There is one...
Wait, this show did what?
This show helped to cement a business model that is going to define how new anime...
But you listed so many shows that did the exact same thing. I don't
and
know.
then you listed a new show that doesn't do it.
Yeah. I don't know the timeline, but I'm sure one of those came before this. This isn't the one.
But he's saying it helps submit.
Everything helps submit stuff. That's not an argument. That's nothing.
are made for...
Is Jujutsu Kaisen weekly or is it?
No, you should know that.
Why would I know that? I don't watch anime.
You love that anime. Don't you?
I think I am gonna rewatch it though, or I am gonna watch it for the anime.
Does it have a dub?
Whoa!
Oh no.
Whoa! The call out! The call out! Oh my god! On your own Discord, yo!
That might be a misinterpretation. It could just be off in Bush just going, I want it to be done.
A minute later.
He could just be like, I want it to be done off in Bush. This is Bush that you have to go through this. But we're gonna get through this, old buddy, old pal.
I'm gonna hit question marks.
Did you just Kaisen have a dub? I could throw that on while I'm freaking playing Resonance of Fate.
Oh yeah, if it's got a dub, that would be stellar.
And then I could come in with a, yo, that was pretty though. Because that's all people care about. Demon Slayer. Alright, sure.
Why is one of the most things people ask, is Jujutsu Kaisen good? How about you watch it and you decide for yourself? What is wrong with people? Why can't you just look at things? I understand everybody's time is valuable and in different aspects, and sometimes things are busy, so you gotta pick and choose the thing. How about you look at what the plot is, and if it interests you, watch it. And if you watch 7 episodes and you go, this ain't for me, you drop it.
How about you just give it a couple chapters? Just dip your toe in.
I swear people feel like they gotta watch the entire thing if they jump into something.
People go,
drop some
people go, oh my god, I can't get into One Piece. It's so long. It's like nobody's strapping you down and forcing you to read 1,000 chapters. Drop it if you ain't feeling it. And if you are feeling it, hey, guess what? That's a lot of good stuff that you get to read. So if you don't like it, you ain't gotta read it. Nobody's forcing you to. And if you do like it, you're gonna like it more, and your life is gonna be better for having something good in it.
It's seasonal.
Years to come. There is one last piece of the puzzle, though. My Hero Academia is a well-made, formulaic shonen anime, and since a lot of people really like the shonen anime formula, that's worked out pretty nicely for it. But saying that doesn't mean much if we can't answer a related question. Why do so many people like this formula? What is it about shonen anime and manga specifically that resonates with so many kids and adults from
It's a bunch of kids doing super cool stuff and punching a lot of villains.
People just want. They don't want good. There's no reason why Demon Slayer should be popular, but it's pretty. There's nothing in it that's unique. There's nothing in it that's stellar outside of the animation, but it is. There's no reason why Dragon Ball should still be loved. People should have woken up and gone, oh no, it's terrible. But it had big fights and big pretty. There is no point to it and go, this is why it's popular, unfortunately. I wish there was, but there isn't. I had this argument about VTubers on Kiwi Farms, as a matter of fact.
You signed up for Kiwi?
For this specific purpose.
Wow, I would never.
There is a VTuber. All of the English VTubers almost have 1 million subs. Mm-hmm. And it took the most recent the closest person that was to 1 million subs before somebody smashed it had been working there for some 2 years. And all of the English ones are going to be there in 6 months. And I'm like, this is complete and total garbage. None of them are any particular good. None of them are particular funny. One of them draw really, really well. None of them are any kind of special. Look at these people who can sing, who's funny, who has their idol stuff, who can dance, all this stuff. Why are they not as popular? Why can you point to this person and go, she's all right, she's kind of boring, but that's what I like about her. And I point to somebody else and go, she is just as boring, she is just as nothing, but she can sing, dance, all this stuff. Why does she have 400,000 subs and she has 1 million? I don't know, man. It's just the luck of the draw, and people don't have answers to these things. So there is no one particular answer. You can always just speculate and everything, but when it comes down to it, sometimes stuff just gets lucky. Sometimes it's just the animation.
I say popularity is 90% about luck.
Sure.
If it explodes, like let's say My Hero was like 4th. That's popular. But it's exploded to far and away number 1. Mm-hmm. And because of that, that is pure luck. Well, not pure luck, but it's a lot of luck. Because there are better series out there. Like I said in the Discord, there is no reason Dr. Stone should not be more popular than it is, but it isn't because there's no fighting. There's no super pretty animation to point to with a big fight and cathartic ending where it's just like, that's a release and wow, I'm pumped up for that. So it's not as popular as it should be because y'all don't get big monkey men punching each other. Whereas Jujutsu Kaisen is a lot of punching each other. And people clap. I love Jujutsu Kaisen's characters. There are several characters I love. But once they start putting up their dukes, my interest goes way down.
So yeah, it's something like this. It's some people that are just like, I like the animation. Some people are like, I like superhero stuff. There is no consensus.
All walks of life and all corners of the globe. I could go into a lot of detail on that point, and in a future video maybe I will, but in brief, here's my take. The world that today's kids are growing into just isn't the one that we or they were promised growing up. Technology and human capabilities are constantly evolving, but in many ways our societies and cultures have failed to keep up. Old heroic symbols designed to prop
That's been something that the cyberpunk genre explores for decades. Blade Runner is about it. What happens if technology and we advance, but as a society we can't? There's still slavery and inequality and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That's basically what this is. What if there's still societal problems even though we have advanced?
The social order have become cracked and faded with time. The students reading My Hero Academia now are set to inherit a world that's a lot less stable and a lot more dangerous than ours is today.
Pause. How many people do you think go into My Hero with the mindset of my society is crumbling around me? Oh my goodness, here is a manga that correlates to what I'm experiencing. How many students, as you just said, go into it like that? How many students are into politics? How many students know what's going on around them?
How many adults?
This bastard right next to me can't name 16 presidents.
You greatly fucked up that number.
Let's go with 12. That's your favorite number.
They named me a president and I was legitimately shocked.
So yeah, you can't just say that.
Because I have no interest in history, world studies,
I don't
geography.
care about politics and society now. You telling me that students as a whole, this is your take? They're like, wow, society, yo, oh my goodness. And they're like, My Hero is tackling these themes.
Growing up, I didn't feel like anything like that with any of the shonen I read.
Yeah, no.
I just liked the ones I did and didn't like the ones I didn't like. I wasn't like, oh, Naruto's the thing. The society is unfair. There's a kid.
Yeah.
He's just a kid, and everybody shuns him, but he's trying really hard. I just went, wow, look at how awesome Rock Lee is in the Gotta fight.
If I was a kid, if I was 14 right now in this day and age, I wouldn't be like, oh my goodness, Black Lives Matter is so messed up and stop Asian hate and all this stuff. Oh, My Hero is tackling societal issues. Great. I would not be like that. I would be like, oh wow, big punch. Stop pretending like everybody is smarter than they are. They clearly aren't.
Hey, people are idiots.
People are dumb.
We're dumb.
We completely. I like just cats. Stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, cats. They're cats and they're
He
purring
is
and crap.
literally dumb clapping. We always say,
Yes.
hey, this happened, so clap. That's literally what he has done. I
can't-
have seen him do
I
it.
cannot watch the Skimbleshank song without pumping my fist at least once. And I've seen it legitimately 30 times. People are stupid. People just want. Who's thinking about the stuff in Demon Slayer? We're gonna go through a tear of Demon Slayer videos.
Dude.
And I guarantee you, each and every one of them, at least in the top two praises that they have for them, one of them's gonna be animation.
And another's probably going to be the art.
Legit. This is what people want. People don't want the theme crap.
Now, when people do want the theme crap,
That's all they want.
that's all they want.
But for something like this, what do societal issues have to do with All for One versus Deku? Basically nothing.
Basically nothing.
A consequence of past generations' failures to fix the broken systems running it. In the face of all that, it's hard not to feel like it's naive to envision a brighter future for humanity. But kids are nothing if not naive. They're also clever, resourceful, defiant, and capable of far more than we give them credit for. And My Hero Academia, alongside Dr. Stone, The Promised Neverland...
Adults aren't capable of what more than we expect from them. You should see some of the comments that we get.
Grown people.
Grown people, I'm like, every single comment that we get that is just so poorly misspelled or mispunctuated or no capitals, I'm like, please just be foreign. Please don't just be dumb.
Please just be 14.
Please, just any of these things. Just don't be dumb. But the sad fact is most of them are just dumb and they just type opinions and they don't think. Stop giving people credit. The amount of people that are smart and good in this world far are less than the dumb people that are just like, oh, big punch.
Hey, America has voted a TV star president twice. Do you understand that?
People were raising their eyebrows when they were like, "Oh, yo, The Rock." Not even thinking like, what are his political leanings? What is he gonna do for taxes?
There were at least 6 states that voted Kanye West in the top 5 votes for president.
Quit pretending. Kids are more capable, absolutely. But hey, guess what? There's some dumb kids.
There's some dumb and shitty kids.
When we were kids, we did not think about Dragon Ball. So when stuff just happens, we clap. Oh my goodness, Super Saiyan 3, that's more than 2.
You know what? I won't even go dumb. There's ignorant people.
Ignorant and people that don't really think. And it's not like they're not thinking or like they're shutting their brain off. They're just like they're not thinking about it at all. They're not going, this doesn't make any sense. They're not thinking about it like one layer deep. They're just going, this is what it is. So when the comments will present this, when you present them with a little bit of pushback, they either fight back so hard and repeat themselves, or they just piss off.
Or they insult you.
Or they just insult you.
Do you know how many insulting comments we get?
It's like, dude, this is what you're devolving to. Stop giving people credit.
Side Dr. Stone, The Promised Neverland, Boruto, Black Clover, and all of the great shonen anime and manga that preceded them, is sending its audience one simple message over and over again, in many forms. Children have the power to save the world. That's a notion I personally find a lot of comfort in.
They have the power to save the world, but if the society is broken, then they are just products of the society. There are going to be ones that stand out, but too many, there's broken school systems. Like,
yes.
We went to middle school in Atlanta, and I graduated 8th grade. I came back to school in Detroit in 9th grade. They were teaching the stuff I learned in 8th grade. So that's already a year behind for Detroit. Do you understand how broken that system is when you got to work 3 to 4 times as hard to learn things that other kids learn on a daily basis just through their regular curriculum? So you get a bunch of kids right now that are going to grow into ignorant and dumb adults that go, climate change isn't real, shrug shoulders. You think there's not 20-year-olds right now that 6 years ago didn't read My Hero that are going, I don't need a vaccine because the government's going to put a chip in my arm? Do you think this is possible? We suck.
People suck.
And it's cool to find hope in the kids, but we're failing the kids.
Yes. They're going to grow up and they're going to feed into the system.
They're already part of the system.
But this went into places.
So, you're going, and then you just named a bunch of manga that goes, it shows that the kids are going to grow. So why are you clapping for My Hero like it's doing something different? What is great about My Hero if it's just, hey, this is a shonen. And because it is a shonen, it is great. Because all other shonens do these things, and My Hero does these things, so how could it not be great?
Whew.
Do you understand how ridiculous a notion that is?
He did not think about this at all.
None!
A big part of why at 27 I'm still a sucker for these, call them what they are, serious, well-made children's cartoons. And I'm speculating here, but I don't think I'm the only one who needs a dose of that shonen anime optimism from time to time. Young or old, sometimes we just need cause to feel a little hopeful about something.
Shonen does not make me feel hopeful. I just like reading
Yes.
fiction, and I like good characters and good plots.
Simply. I don't. What happens if you read a chapter and it leaves off on a dour note where somebody gets beheaded? Where's your hopefulness there?
And through its emotionally charged fights and character arcs, Hiroaka excels at delivering that feeling on demand. At the end of the day,
What shonen doesn't? What shonen doesn't have kids having great optimism?
even in Attack on Titan, they have optimism.
What fails at it? Since this excels at it, that means there
Seriously.
has to be a norm. What's the norm? What's below? And what's above?
He is terrible at, when he compares stuff. He just goes, One Punch Man. They do this thing, and then he just moves on. And then here he just doesn't even explain anything.
My Hero Academia isn't some masterwork, though it does contain a lot of work.
But Promised Neverland is? Oh, I'm gonna be reading Promised Neverland, sir.
And you're not explaining why, you're just saying that it is.
Many master craftspeople. It can be a bit shallow and predictable in places, and interesting as many of the ideas and characters it presents are, it doesn't always do all that it could to explore them. But it is really good.
And One Punch Man does? Because I can tell you right now, sir, absolutely not.
And Demon Slayer does, as you make 5 videos on it.
Already?
At doing a lot of things that, for a variety of reasons, make a lot of people very happy. Its premise compels imaginations to run wild. Its diverse roster of characters.
I have never thought about My Hero. As in, I have never imagined a way a power set could evolve or anything. It has never sparked my imagination.
Seriously. There's things within My Hero itself that I don't think about. Because when they went, the American heroes, I went, the American heroes? Didn't even think about that. Didn't think about the money in Bleach. You know why? Because I'm dumb.
Gives people heroes they can cheer for and relate to. Its epic climaxes have a way of injecting hype directly into the pleasure center of your brain. It's a good time. A consistent, reliable good time that pays off the time investment it demands with some incredible high points.
Hey, could y'all not copy and paste everything he just said there and put it on anything?
Anything. He's saying nothing.
He's saying nothing there. Nothing that speaks to My Hero. Not a thing.
This is disgusting.
And yeah, maybe it doesn't deserve quite as many awards as it's gotten, but I think it does deserve to be celebrated for that.
That's opening.
I'm Jeff Thu, professional shitbag, signing out from my mother's basement.
Mother's Basement is My Hero. It's safe. It's nothing. It's just here.
But there is a little bit more.
It's good enough.
It's good enough.
It's
and
good
there's
enough.
A little more.
And it's better than other stuff.
Slightly
Hall of
better.
Fame. Hall of Fame.
Really? That bad? I'm just going regular negative
No.
10.
I hate the not explaining stuff. The just saying stuff. I hate that so much.
Understandable.
This is terrible. And it just like we keep saying, pluck it out, replace the visuals with any shonen, and you go, he's just talking. He's just going, the characters are good. The villains are good. Pretty is nothing. Oh my goodness.
Negative 10.
You suck, Trey Allen. Learn to edit.
I mean,
Whatever he's paying you, you don't deserve it. You are not a good editor.
I think he can cut and
Sure, he can
trim
lay
it
down
off
clips, but he's
on the timeline.
He's clearly not listening. His
That's probably the
headphones must
problem.
have broke that day and just like, crap. Well, I just gotta lay down some stuff.
Okay, he gave me some notes. This is the manga part. This is what he wants. Okay, I can lay that down.
Because you are not matching what he's saying to the visuals. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. There's plenty of times where I'm like, what the are you talking about? It's a terrible... Full Cowlin. Yo, before Full Cowlin, it was just punching. But you just showed a full cow punch.
And every time something like that happens, I just have to go, oh, the editor had no idea what he was talking about.
Clearly.
So he just threw whatever he could at the
They
wall.
must not have watched the show and just go, I just need Deku punching something big. And didn't realize that it's full. But then he went zipping around with... Whatever. Doesn't matter. You're not good, Trey Allen.
And you're not
Tender
good,
your
Mother's
resignation.
Don't give up your job. Get better.
No.
Improve at your
No.
job. Yeah. I would never walk up, hey, you got my order wrong. Retire.
Yeah. This ain't for you.
This ain't it, Chief. Oh, yeah. Just a regular negative 10.
Nah, Hall of Fame.
I was even thinking
Piss me
9.5 maybe.
Piss me off.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm two feelings.
Next we're doing a Demon Slayer video.
Yes,
And
it's gonna be a very interesting one.
And it does not have a lot of views. So
Who cares?
this is just to show we don't just attack big YouTubers like
we attack bad arguments.
we attack bad arguments.
And this real bad.
And I don't care if you got 4 views or 4 million views. If your argument is bad, we will go after you. Yep. This is gonna come out after because reasons, so there's no reason to advertise that. Yep. I guess until next time.
Yes.